ladies and gentlemen. God bless you and happy Memorial Day here at islandproject.com. Please let me know that you can hear me, that you've got audio and visual before we get started, because a major event is planned June 14th. A major event is planned. Please like, share, follow me on X at AMTV Media. Thank you, Seiko112. God bless you. Jesus Christ is King. Thank you, John. You can hear me. Give me a thumbs up. Also comment. Major event. Major event. Is that better? Major event. Is this any better? Great. Thank you, Mary. A major event is coming June 14th. A big one. This is your warning, America. God bless the United States and the greatest country in the world, but I do believe we are poised for something huge. June 14th will be the commemoration of the 250th year anniversary of the U.S. Army and the most magnificent show of force of our outstanding military that we have ever witnessed in the history of civilization. And this is, interestingly enough, also going to coordinate with Donald Trump, our president's 79th birthday. Absolutely incredible. Abrams tanks will be in the streets, marches, fireworks all across Washington, D.C. It's going to be awesome. And it will be a marvel and a spectacle to behold. But I think a lot of you are underestimating what the motives actually might be of such a show of force in nationalism and extreme fervor that we are about to witness. For example, it has been extremely rare in history for a military parade of this gravity not to be followed immediately by a posturing for war. And I want you to think about this, and I also would like to hear your thoughts. There are huge geopolitical conflicts going on right now, folks, in Ukraine. In fact, Russia is on a major offensive with another 50,000 troops expected to move towards Kharkiv in Ukraine. And we see Donald Trump working on the art of the peace deal, but it's been difficult. And of course, we see with the tariff wars and the threats of tariffs, and we saw this with Apple computers earlier this week with Trump threatening a 25% cost to Apple for non-manufactured iPhones and cell phones and consumer electronics here in the United States. And of course, a blow to Donald Trump in Greenland, who our president has overtly stated he plans on taking, whether or not it goes diplomatically or military force is needed. And for those of you that don't know, in a blow to Trump and our administration, and a slap in the face to all of us, Greenland actually signed a mineral rights deal with Europe this week, just a couple days ago. Massive. All those minerals, of course, go into all kinds of products and consumer goods and electronics. And I want you to keep in mind that this is also a matter of national security. We are literally in a national emergency right now over Taiwanese semiconductor production, setting up those facilities in places like Chandler, Arizona. It goes into every single IoT device and soon to be the Internet of Bodies and human beings, which we've been talking a lot about with the advent of AI and artificial intelligence. But there has rarely ever been, ever, 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 ever been a show of this kind of magnitude of a military celebration parade with tanks in our streets. And we've seen this from major nation states throughout history that doesn't result in some kind of nationalistic action towards war immediately after. For example, Japan did a very large military parade right before their entrance into World War II. This is when Imperial Japan was showing its strength to the rest of the world. You have to understand it's psychological for the American people. It is also a form of military, government, psychological propaganda. It is meant to stoke cohesion among the masses, and it's also meant to spark fear towards our enemies. Another very specific example would, of course, be Germany and its extreme nationalistic military parades, commemorations, and celebrations that led to their almost immediate invasions, which we saw with Poland and other parts of Europe, which of course brought us into those global conflicts that we're celebrating today, again, our Memorial Day this weekend, for all of you that fight and have fought, and all of our falling soldiers and great leaders, men and women that have protected this country so that you and I could be free. And in the most notable example recently, it was actually Ukraine, an event and a war that I actually predicted here at AMTV, where Vladimir Putin and Mother Russia showed massive force in a militaristic, commemorating, celebratory parade right before their attack, allegedly, although really Ukraine has always been a part of Russia. And that event transpired just several years ago, which Donald Trump is attempting to bring peace to. So my warning is that this is much more than entertainment, for entertainment purposes, in my view. And little do you probably know that it wasn't Donald Trump that decided to have this military parade. You'll notice the radical left and the deep state mainstream media, they hate him so much. And it's like everything this guy does, he could fart gold and they would still, yell at him and attack him and criticize him. I mean, he could literally have rainbows coming out of his butt and they would still find a way to have a negative angled story. But my point being, it's not Donald Trump that actually organized this event. Yes, he's our president. Yes, it's going to culminate in his 79th birthday. I mean, look how much energy he has. But this foundation and the 250-year anniversary of the United States military was hand-selected by those above Trump long before Trump even got into office. So this is actually, it's not a partisan thing. It was going to happen anyways, which tells us the people that are above Donald Trump, the deep state, those that don't show their faces, want a very nationalistic, fervor-oriented display of military might and exceptionalism, unlike we haven't seen ever in the history of America. So again, it should raise an eyebrow. In my opinion, and there has, by the way, never been a currency collapse like what we're currently experiencing here in the United States, a collapse of the USD and a currency reset into blockchain and Bitcoin and any kind of new system throughout history, thousands of years, that hasn't resulted in major world conflict and war. Never in history. Never in history. Every currency collapse precedes or during the midst of it leads to conflict and war. And so I believe that those in power, and I want you to share this video and get it out and get ready and get prepared and get your money out of the banks and get your preps and your self-defenses and understand you're living in a hyperinflationary collapse and understand that what I'm telling you is the truth. But I believe wholeheartedly that there is going to be a major significant altercation and a worldwide geopolitical conflict that on the heels of what we're about to witness. The 14th will be a marker in history. You think about the gravity of all this, and if you study these types of events, for example, 90%, pretty much all of them, any of the military parades that we've had in the United States post the Civil War, even World War II and the Victory Day Parade in New York and all those kinds of things, only came after victory of a war. Which this one is odd because there is no, there's Ukraine. We've got an Art of the Peace deal there. We've got the Golden Age, which has been officially unlocked. But again, the brute force of the currency collapse and escalations that we are witnessing with Israel and Gaza. And I actually think Benjamin Netanyahu, as I've predicted again, the military action will take place imminently and escalate before June 14th. War is coming. Ladies and gentlemen, war is coming. War is coming. You need to get your money out of the banks. You need to get ready. More bank runs are coming to the United States. There's gonna be bad, ladies and gentlemen. I hope, for the love of God, that you've been taking my advice. You've been getting your money out of the banks. You've been sharing these videos, and you understand with discernment what is ahead of you, because we are now in a pre-engineered deep state hyperinflationary collapse. A nuclear time BOMB has gone off in international markets, stemming from what we reported on earlier this week in Japan. Interest rates have skyrocketed. The scummy deep state like Jamie Dimon are now telling you you're in a stagflationary collapse. And the world's billionaires are warning of a ticking you-know-what. And money is fleeing into these new assets. And do you realize that the whole system is being reset into the exact prediction that we've been making for 20 years nearly now? Do you understand that the super cycle golden age is now? Do you understand how high Bitcoin will be trading in the coming days? How high XRP will be? Do you get it and understand where all this is headed? Do you know about tokenization and the real aims of this reset into stablecoin technology and a new digital currency upgradable model that's going to bail out the US Treasury market once again? Do you understand? So I'm telling you straight up, I'm telling you right now, keep your eye on this military parade. It's gonna be big, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, this is just odd timing. It's absolutely odd.